Hello, this is Sam Mohaj
And John Matthews.
with Season 7 of GBTV's The Gameclock. Today is October 16th as this recording is happening, so all sports may not be up to date. And your varsity news. Newburgh football won against Pine Bush 45-35. Nick Patterson scored 2 touchdowns once again, and Amari Tice hit Sincere Tatum before going into halftime on a 64-yarder Hail Mary play. Newburgh now improves to 5-0 and looks to beat Kingston this Friday at our homecoming game, so wear white and attend.
For girls tennis from October 8th, they lost to Monroe Woodbury. The only bright side was Ekta Patel and Jade Garay won their doubles match.
And your boys' soccer news. On October 14th, the boys were once defeated against Mammernick. They lost 3-2. However, once again, Javier Rodriguez led the way with 2 goals.
Action.
And your MLB, NBA, and NFL news. The MLB postseason race is heating up. The Astros have taken the last 2 games against the New York Yankees and now have a series lead of 2-1. The Yankees, they didn't give Severino any run support after he gave up a first-inning home run to Jose Altuve and a second-inning home run to Josh Reddick. You got to capitalize on runners in scoring position.
Yeah, they left 9 runners on base within the first 4 innings. That just can't happen.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely terrible. They had the chance to take the lead when Didi Gregorius looked like it was going to be a home run, and the ball just died short. It seems like in the regular season that's a home run any given day, but in the postseason maybe they're doing something with the balls to keep the games close and hit a lot more ground balls. It's really
For sure.
It's really interesting. But on a positive side, the Washington Nationals are going to their first World Series in franchise history. Now that leaves the Seattle Mariners as the only team to never make a World Series appearance, and it looks like they probably won't for a little bit longer. So, sucks to be the Washington Mariners, but it's great to be the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals were scrutinized after letting Bryce Harper go and not giving him the big deal that he may or may not have wanted with them, but it seems like it paid off.
Yeah, no, they won 14 more games this year without him, and Juan Soto's emerging to be a better outfielder than Bryce Harper was.
They're definitely more of a team now that he's gone.
Yeah.
But no discredit to him. He's an amazing baseball player.
Yeah, exactly. And your NFL news. The Cowboys and the Rams have dropped their last 3 games. This does not look good for either team that was considered to be a Super Bowl contender. The Cowboys lost to the Jets 24-22, which was absolutely an embarrassment. And the Rams got absolutely blown out by the 49ers, with Jared Goff only throwing for 78 passing yards. That's the lowest in his career, and I think that's the lowest from a quarterback who hasn't been injured and they've played all 4 quarters in a game. So
in the Super Bowl, yeah.
It hasn't looked good at all. And going on to the NFL officiating is absolutely terrible this season. The Lions got screwed over on Monday Night Football with 2 phantom illegal hands to the face calls, and it led Aaron Rodgers to score a touchdown and beat the Lions. But then again, you got to look at it as the Lions shouldn't be kicking 5 field goals. If you're going to be down in the red zone every time, you got to capitalize on those opportunities. So I could see how it goes, but officiating shouldn't be the outcome of the game. You just got to play better than the officiating.
Yeah, for sure. Baker Mayfield looked lost and confused out there once again. What are your thoughts on that, Sam?
I don't know. It seems like the more he gets away from Lincoln Riley, the more his mechanics get changed and the more he doesn't look like a quarterback like he was when he was a Heisman in his rookie year with Hugh Jackson as his coach before they fired him and left Greg Williams as the head coach.
There's a lot of talk about the Oklahoma quarterbacks being Heisman winners and number 1 overall picks, but I think them laying eggs in the NFL so far this season has really sort of, maybe it's hurting Jalen Hurts' case to be the number 1 pick.
I don't know. I will say this, though. Kyler Murray has looked pretty impressive. I think he's played a hell of a lot better for what his team is with the Arizona Cardinals.
I think what happened was he was struggling a lot at first, and he just happened to play the Falcons last week. So I wouldn't give him too much credit. He did play great, though.
Yeah, no, he's fun to watch, even though he's 5'10". You can't see over his offensive line, but he's a great player to watch, and I hope his career develops because he was fun to watch on Oklahoma last year, similar to how Jalen Hurts is this year. Danger Russ is making his case for MVP.
He's the front runner, and it's besides Christian McCaffrey, it really isn't close, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, people had Patrick Mahomes at the top of their board after the first 3 weeks, or after the first 4 weeks, but their last 2 games they've dropped them. They lost to the Indianapolis Colts with Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback, and then they lost to a really good Texans team with Deshaun Watson. It seems like it's going to be similar to how it's Rodgers and Brady with the 2 best quarterbacks from over the last 10 years. It's looking to be like Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes are going to be the next 2 best quarterbacks over the league for the next 10 years.
Most definitely.
And I'll tell you who looks legit is the San Francisco 49ers. Killing it. Jimmy Garoppolo, they don't ask him to do that much. I mean, he does turn over the ball quite a bit, but that defense is really good, especially with Nick Bosa. He may be better than Joey Bosa.
Yeah, he's looking fantastic. You know who made some moves last night was the Los Angeles Rams. After trading Marcus Peters to the Ravens, they went out and acquired debatably the best cornerback in the NFL, Jalen Ramsey. They got a 2020 first rounder and a 2021 first rounder, as well as a 2020 fourth rounder. That's an insane deal. Kind of came out of nowhere as we started to think that the trade talk for Jalen Ramsey was starting to die down, but obviously it didn't, and now he's in Los Angeles. What do you have to say about that?
Well, you know what I have to say about that is that if the Rams don't trade back into the first round, this will be 5 years. Over the span of 5 years, they won't have a first round pick. And I get if you're winning a championship, it doesn't matter if how your team comes out, but
they're not winning championships.
But they're not going to win a championship, especially with Todd Gurley's decline with arthritis in his left knee. It sucks because last year the Rams looked absolutely dynamic. They were throwing touchdown passes. They were running. They were making teams look embarrassed. Their offense was so high power. They were averaging 40 points a game. That's never heard of. And now they seem to be struggling, especially Jared Goff. He's taken a huge step back from when he had his MVP season
What
last
I'd
year.
say is the Rams are they're losing it. They're on a decline. And I'd say if this happened last year, they'd be Super Bowl contenders without a doubt, and it wouldn't even be a question. But now that they're on the decline and everything's all chaotic over in Los Angeles, I don't know. I guess the trade makes sense. Obviously, it's Jalen Ramsey, but it's just sort of out of left field in my opinion.
And then the thing too is that the Rams are going to be in a lot of cap trouble in a couple of years after
they got to pay a lot of
people.
people.
If they pay Jalen Ramsey, who are they going to? I mean, I get that they have Goff, but they paid Todd Gurley way too early,
Todd
especially
Gurley
with his
and
decline.
Jared Goff so far have not been worth the money that they've been accounted for, and I don't know. It's looking slow in Los Angeles.
And also, too, their offensive line is just really old. That's the one position or the one area that they did not capitalize on in the draft or free agency. They thought that they still had a great thing. And I'm not discrediting Andrew Whitworth. He's a very great left tackle. He came from the Cincinnati Bengals. But Father Time is catching up to a lot of those offensive linemen.
It's starting to look like their window for a Super Bowl championship was last year. And it looks like they kind of missed it. But anyways, I'm John Matthews.
And this is Sam Mohaj. This is the Game Clock.